The very first video I recorded was called Who Not to Believe. In that video, I covered several different logical fallacies which I see that are very prevalent in the discussions that people have online. And I was basically telling you not what to believe, but I was telling you what things you can disregard because they're completely invalid. Well, today, I'm going to give you the first sequel to that. It's part 2. And in this one, we're only going to cover one argument or one fallacy. But it's a really important one because we see it happening right now, and it's only going to get worse as we approach the election. So here's my advice. Never believe nobody. So what do I mean by that? Well, we're going to go back to when I was in elementary school, when I was a delicate little child, and they were spreading some stupid rumor, I have no idea what it was, about me, and I was so heartbroken. I went back, and I'm crying to my dad that everyone or somebody's saying such and such about me. And my dad asked me, well, who said that? And I responded, well, they won't tell me who said it. And he gave me some really important advice, and I'm going to pass that advice or that wisdom, that this axiom onto you today. If nobody takes responsibility for saying something, then nobody said it. Now, I'm a big First Amendment guy. The free press is one of the most important institutions which separates us from tyrannies. But what we have now is far worse than a government-controlled media. What we have are propagandists working for an unelected shadow government. Where Pravda used to spread lies to keep power, our American press is spreading lies to steal it. All of our rights come with incredible responsibilities. The First Amendment is no different than the Second. I support our right to bear arms, but I don't support drive-by shootings. A gun is a powerful, tremendous, and dangerous weapon, so it needs to be handled with immense respect. Speech is no different. In fact, speech is an even more powerful weapon and needs to be handled with even more respect. I don't support drive-by shootings, and I certainly don't support drive-by postings where people just are willy-nilly and abandon the truth to achieve a goal. The Constitution isn't a buffet. If you are going to exercise the First Amendment, then you have to fundamentally believe in the Sixth Amendment as well. According to the Sixth Amendment, we all have a right to confront our accuser. Now, don't give me this baloney about the Bill of Rights only applying to the government. That's a real popular argument now. I hear leftists say when it comes to like social media's crackdown and censorship of conservative speech. They'll say, well, that doesn't apply to private companies. That only applies to the government. You see, the reason they say that is because according to leftists who subscribe to critical law theory, even if they don't know it, for them, the law, the same as words, are only tools for their use to adjust power. Now, they don't believe in objective eternal principles. The founders did. And in the Declaration of Independence, the founders expressed the very heart of what it means to be an American. According to them, and according to me, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men were created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving the just powers from the consent of the governed. So did you get that? Government neither grants nor creates rights. Government, according to them, doesn't even create law. The founders believed in natural law, that law comes from God. He grants us certain rights by virtue of us being created in His image. We have certain rights just because we're human beings. But they also understand the biblical concept that we are fallen creatures. We are sinful creatures. And because we are fallen, we will violate people's rights. That's just human nature. So we consent together to form a government for our mutual protection and to secure those fundamental God-given rights. Now, if you don't believe in natural law, I guess it's sure not going to matter to you that above the Constitution, we have the Ten Commandments. And the ninth of those big 10 is, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Now, it doesn't matter if you think your ends somehow justify your means. If you currently are sharing propaganda, which you know not to be true, you are in violation of the ninth commandment. Now, don't lie to yourself and say that you didn't know it was false. If you share information which you don't know for sure to be true, you are bearing false witness. Now, I'm going to assume that if you're in my audience and you're listening to this, you want to be honest. Now, since you do, here's some tricks to look out for so you know who not to believe. See, in the past, reporters investigated, and if one got a scoop, the others would then duplicate his work to see if they could confirm that information. Today, one source will report something from an anonymous source, and then 100 other papers or media will pick up the story with absolutely no due diligence to confirm, and they'll pretend they're being honest because they write their story just quoting the first media report. Now, how is it even remotely journalism when you're reading a story in the New York Times, which is writing an article about the article written in the Atlantic? It's insane. Back in the day, we used to call such laziness plagiarism. But today, when we see the Biden campaign coming out with an ad in less than 24 hours with the exact same information that was in the article, I wouldn't call it plagiarism. I would just call it mass collusion. Another favorite trick they like to use is they sit together in their boardroom before they go to air and they say certain things so that in good conscience, when they go on air in their little round tables or when they're questioning the president, they can start with, people are saying blah, blah, blah. So whenever a reporter starts with people say, your question needs to be, who? Who's saying this? You? Because remember, if nobody takes responsibility for saying something, then nobody said it. Look, if you have a different perspective on what's best for America, I don't think you're evil. Naive? Sure. What Lenin called a useful idiot? Yeah, probably. But I don't think you're evil. If, however, you spread lies to advance that different perspective, we're leaving the realm of political opinion and entering the realm of personal morality. If you bear false witness in order to cause division and to reduce confidence in our commander-in-chief, sorry, but that is indeed sin, and you are indeed evil.